questions for Patrick?
We'll start right here in the second row.
Patrick Mahomes, Jose Villalba from Multimedios in Mexico. Can you talk a little bit about your relationship with Travis Kelce? You have a lot of success together. His playoff numbers are incredible. Your combination with him, with you see Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. What do you think? You talk a little bit about where you guys are of history and what has meant for your development as a quarterback.
Yeah, it's been a great run, and I think it started. I mean, as the friends we became off the field, that we've become like brothers now. That relationship that we have is kind of translated on the field, and I know what he's thinking when he's out there. And I mean, he's one of the greatest, if not the greatest, tight end of all time. And so for me to just find ways to get in the football, and the way that he works. To get himself better and better every year. I mean, it's a special player that hopefully we can keep going for a long time because, I mean, he's a guy that you'll never have another player like him in your career.
Hey, Patrick. So last week you had mentioned that the ankle was preventing you from really stopping with some of the pain. Where are you at and how close do you feel like you are to just doing everything that you'd be able to normally do with the injury?
Yeah, I don't think you'll know exactly until you get to game day. I'm definitely in a better spot. I mean, I definitely can move around better than I was moving last week or 2 weeks ago. And so it's just trying to continue to get the treatment and the rehab and get to as close as I can to 100%, and then rely on some adrenaline to let me do a little bit extra when I'm on the field. So it's going to be definitely better, more mobile, be able to move around a little bit better for sure. And then we'll see on game day how close to 100% I can be.
Stay right here.
Hey, Patrick, another question on Travis. Can you describe what kind of presence he has in the locker room? I mean, he seems like a vocal guy to us, but I just wondered if that's the case inside the locker room. And then also, what are the things that sort of prompt him to speak up, whether it's during the week, during the game, whatever it might be?
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely a vocal guy. I mean, he's one of the main leaders in this locker room. I mean, one of the core guys that's been here for longer than I've been here, the whole entire run of really Coach Reid's run in the Kansas City Chiefs. And so I think he can be vocal because he's the hardest working guy in the locker room as well. And he's in the building, he's working his tail off, he's finishing every route, he's blocking, working on his blocking. I mean, there's times when he's not in, he's like walking to the side and he's like working on routes by himself. And I mean, whenever you have a guy that's one of the hardest working people, that's one of the greatest players of all time, then he is that vocal. He can be that vocal leader, and everybody responds because they know he's doing it the right way.
Right here.
Patrick, what is the biggest challenge of facing this Eagles defense?
I mean, they're great everywhere, so it's hard to pick one. I mean, obviously, I'd probably say the defensive line, just because, I mean, they're on a historic sack rate and the way they're able to get to the quarterback, and so everybody knows that everything starts up front, and so it'll be a great challenge for our offensive line to try to do what they can in the run game and the pass game of protecting and run blocking. But I mean, they got great DBs, they got great linebackers, and so when you have a great unit, it's about how can you execute and prevent negative plays, and they've done a great job, especially in the playoffs, of causing negative plays, and turnovers are usually what win and lose a football game. And so for us, we understand it's going to be a great challenge through and through, but the defensive line is a special group, and so I'd probably say that.
Hey, Patrick, how you doing? NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell is speaking today. I know you're the player union rep for the team. If there's anything you would like to see change the way the NFL operates, or anything you would suggest if you had a conversation with him, what would it be?
Man, anytime we can get more money to the players, I always like that, so I'd probably say that.
Over here. Hi, Tandy Cherwith, Channel 8 TV. A question that we're curious about is, we know that you do like commercials and other things with your teammates and coaches. So my question is, what are your favorite activities to do with your other teammates and coaches off the field, and how does that translate in your relationship on the field?
Yeah, so my favorite activity to do off the field with my teammates is golf. I like to golf in the off season. I don't golf during the season, but in the off season we like to get out there, and I've started to get more and more guys into it. And so it started off, I got Travis into it, and now I'm getting the offensive line into it. And it's not about how good you shoot. I think it's more about the camaraderie you have out there. You're out there for 3-4 hours at a time. If you're playing at a good speed, and you're out and you hang out with the guys, and you're competing, but at the same time you're just enjoying it. So I would say that's probably the main activity I do in the off season.
Hey, Pat.
Hey, Sammy from French Media. Thanks for having us on that Las Vegas Raiders game. We got Kelce having his podcast. We got B. Marsh in the house. Do you have two players in your locker room that would make a great podcast?
Yeah, I would say Chris Jones and Frank Clark. I don't know if it'd be allowed by Ted over here, but they would definitely have the best podcast if they were allowed to have one.
Great question. And I played with Frank Clark over here.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
I played with Frank Clark. That was a great choice. Before I ask you a question, Ted Cruz, I just want to say you're a legend. 11th season. You know, you guys are making a lot of history this week, but there's people like you that's really holding our game up. So I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for the game of football. All right, brother. So how you doing?
Good, man.
Good. All right, great. Rihanna came out and said that you are the greatest quarterback ever. Hearing that, how does that make you feel?
It makes you feel great. She's gonna crush it at halftime. I have family members that I think are more excited about the halftime show than they are the game. And so whatever Rihanna says is like the gospel. So I'm glad that she went with me for that honor.
She didn't. She didn't. I was just messing around.
Oh man, you got me up here smiling and smirking.
Okay. All right. My last question, and it's a serious one. What are you chasing?
What I'm chasing is I never say I'm chasing a player. I'm chasing that I don't want to have any regrets when I step off this football field. And I understand how lucky I am to be in this organization. I understand how lucky I am to play with guys that are going to be Hall of Famers. And so when I look back at the end of my career, I don't want to look back and be like, man, I didn't give everything I have to win Super Bowls because of the great people I have around me. And so when I get done with my career, I just want to make sure that I know that I gave everything I had on that football field.
Hey, Patrick. I know you won't be able to attend tomorrow night, but just what it means to you to be up for the MVP award as well as the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. How much do those mean to you?
Yeah, I think, it gives you a great appreciation of this sport, man. The hard work you put in every single day. And playing the last few years and not being up for the award, I think it gives me even better appreciation. And it's something like at the end of my career, like we were just talking about, I want to look back and say, man, like I was able to win the MVP once and hopefully have a chance to win it again this year. And then even more importantly than that, the Walter Payton Man of the Year. It's something that it takes more than just me. I mean, I have so many people that help me with my foundation to help run it. And you want to get back and make Kansas City a better place than when you got there. But it speaks to the people I have around me and the community that I live in that I'm able to give back to Kansas City so much, and I would have the honor to be even up for this award.
Hi, Patrick. You tweeted LeBron James yesterday after he broke the scoring record. Do you have a relationship with him, and can you gather inspiration off of an accomplishment like that?
Yeah, I mean, I first off, I talk to him every once in a while and try to gain as much advice as possible. But I think you gain inspiration because I think you heard him talking about it last night. It wasn't something that he was chasing. It wasn't something that he even thought was possible. He just continued to work every single year, every single day, and he got there. And he's still playing at a high level. And so, like I said, it's legendary stuff. I mean, there's some records that no one thinks will ever be broken. And to see a guy that puts in the work every single day and gets to that milestone, who's not even a scorer first. He's one of the greatest scorers of all time. And he has the most points of all time, but he's not even a scorer. He just continues to work and try to win championships, and he's able to reach goals that I don't think anyone ever thought were going to be broken.
Morning, Patrick. When you look at Andy Reid and Nick Sirianni and the magnetism that they bring to really rally players around them, they're similar in a way, but I think they're also different in that way. So from your perspective as a player, can you talk a little bit about, obviously outside of the sheer knowledge of the game, but those defining qualities that you look for in a coach that really enable a team like the Chiefs and like the Eagles to rally around those guys?
Yeah, I think you just see the different generations between the coaches. I mean, both of them are obviously great coaches to have their teams in this moment. But as far as for me seeing Coach Reid, I think it's just the way he puts the work in every single day as well. So you never question that he's prepared and ready to go. He enjoys it. You still feel it has that kid spirit, and he likes to joke around and have fun. And then he knows how to get the best out of every single player. And he knows, and there's a kind of a special, unique quality where he's able to get the best out of you no matter where you're from, or how that he has to do that. And so not only him, we have a lot of great coaches in this organization, and they push us every single day. And sometimes when we have practicing pads like on Monday we're like, why are we doing this? But we know that they're doing it for the right reasons to get us ready to go for the Super Bowl.
All right, we got 3 more questions. We'll go right here in the front and then finish over here.
Patrick, hi, Simon from Danish TV. I was just wondering, this is the 3rd time that you're here at the Super Bowl. Is there anything you're doing different this time around, coming the others, and what especially that is that will help you win on Sunday?
Yeah, I think you have a better understanding of the whole process, so you can kind of find those little windows where you can get a little extra film study in, a little extra rest. I think especially the first Super Bowl when I was in Miami, it was like kind of you got to go here, and you kind of were just kind of trying to figure out a way to get it all done. Whereas now I have a better understanding of the process and the schedule, and I had Ted and them sending me the schedule like a week early just so I could plan it out and have a good plan for what I was going to go about my week doing.
Patrick, good morning. Kyle Nash with the three-point conversion. Obviously, this game, first 2 black quarterbacks facing each other. What do you see in Jalen Hurts that reminds you of a young Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, well, I'm not that old, but it's
younger.
I mean, I think the best thing about Jalen is the way he works, man. He goes to work every single day, and you can see it. He gets better and better every single year, and that's what we're all striving to do is get better and better. And I'm better than I was when I was at that point in my career. And you continue to work, and you continue to put in that leadership role that he has, and you can see how the guys follow him, man. They follow him, and they'll do whatever they can to help that guy succeed. And so it'll be a great game, man. And obviously he can do all the physical stuff. He can run, he can throw, and do all that different type of stuff. But the work ethic is what will get you through, and I think that he's at the top tier of that.
Thank you, Patrick. And hey, I'm in my 40s, so you're both younger than me.
Yeah.
Last question.
Patrick, hi, good morning. Federico Olvera here from Damebola, Mexico City. Hello again. Patrick, so far in your career, what has been one of your plays that you have liked the most? And the second one, what is your favorite play in the history of the National Football League?
I would say my favorite play in the history of the National Football League. I would probably say the Franco Harris play. I was watching it obviously with this last year and him passing away, and how special that moment was. You get a better perspective when you realize what the scenario was. And obviously I didn't see it, and I wasn't allowed to see it. But I saw, like, you see highlights of it. You're like, oh, what a sweet play. But this last year, seeing the significance of it and what part of the game it was and how it took them on to that great run that they had in the Steelers organization, I'd say that's probably it's one of the greatest plays in the history of football. And then my favorite play. It's got to be Wallace, man. They helped us win the Super Bowl, so I would say that's probably my favorite play of my career.
All right, thank you.
I can't believe you got me with that. I can't believe you got me with that question. All I was thinking about the rest of the time.